Hi, I'm Ben, and I'm one of the developers of Herman Electro, the brand new electricity-based puzzle roguelike. Today I'm going to be talking about the built-in editor mode in Herman Electro, and how you can use this tool to design your own Herman Electro electricity-based puzzles. First, I'm going to walk through the electricity mechanics in the game, and how those are used to design complicated puzzles, and then I'll talk about actually designing my own puzzle in the game. First off, we'll discuss the toolbox tile, which is the final tile in every puzzle in Herman Electro. The goal of the puzzle is to reach this tile, which will then give you tools in your inventory and open the doors to adjacent puzzles in the game. Most puzzles also revolve around the electricity mechanic, which usually involves a power supply, this purple and orange tile right there. We can actually add wires next to the power supply to transfer power from the power supply to different locations in the room. So one really common example of using power is to power trapdoors. When they're not powered, trapdoors are open, like this, and if we were to walk into them right now, we would actually die. But we can connect the trapdoors to the power supply through wiring, and that will actually close the trapdoors, which means we can walk on top of them safely, and we don't need to fear death. So using this mechanic of transferring power from one location to another, we can come up with a lot of complicated puzzles, and there are a lot of really complicated tiles that appear in the game, but today I'm going to go through a fairly simple puzzle using trapdoors and some other very simple mechanics that appear in the game. First, I'm going to start off by creating a wooden shell for this puzzle. Usually that will look something like this, some sort of wooden box. Note that the tile I'm using right now is the wooden wall, which blocks the player's movement, so the player can't walk through these walls, and we can use them to shepherd the player into the directions we want him or her to go. So this is looking pretty good for the foundation for our puzzle. We have this sort of S shape right here, and we can put our toolbox tile right here. So the goal of the puzzle is going to be reaching this toolbox. However, it won't be so simple because there are some trapdoors in the way blocking our path. So we're going to want to power these trapdoors to make it easier for us to walk over here. To do so, we'll have this power supply right here, and a button, which I'll talk about in just a minute, and a wire from the button to the trapdoors. So we can use the button to actually transfer power to the trapdoors. Like this, we can just step on it to activate it, and now the trapdoors are powered. We can step on it again to deactivate it, and now the trapdoors are no longer powered. Right now this puzzle is pretty easy because all you need to do to beat it is step on the button once and walk in here. So I'm going to add another layer of complication to make this puzzle a bit more interesting. I'm adding some wires coming up from the top of the button, and I'm also going to add a powered door right here. So the powered door, when it's not powered, is just a regular tile. You can walk on top of it. But when the powered door is powered, it actually blocks vision and movement for the player. So right now, we can just walk on top of it with no issues. But when it's powered, we can't walk past it. So there's a bit of a conflict now between this powered door and the trapdoors, because we want this button pressed to power the trapdoors, but we also don't want it pressed because then it's going to power the door. So we need to resolve this conflict using tools from our inventory. Now the inventory of tools consists of a lot of basic tools over here, which are used to beat most of the puzzles in the game, and our super tools, which are high-powered tools that are more difficult to find throughout the game, and often can be used to beat especially difficult puzzles. There are two single basic tool solutions to this puzzle that I can see, so I'm going to walk through both of those and show you how we could go about beating this puzzle in the actual game. First, I'll give myself some tools. So we can use this saw to beat the puzzle pretty easily by sawing this wooden wall right here. We can just click, and we've destroyed the wooden wall, and we can now walk to this toolbox and pick it up, and we'll have beaten the puzzle. So that's the simpler solution to this puzzle. I think there's a slightly more interesting solution involving the wire cutters. So we can walk over here and use our wire cutters on this wire right here, which is going to stop power from being transferred from the button to the door. That means we can leave the button pressed, we can still power these trapdoors, but we can actually walk past the powered door, which is no longer powered. So that's going to enable us to walk over here. We can walk over the powered trapdoors, and we can reach our toolbox, which is going to open the adjacent rooms. We've now received a sponge, and we can use that sponge and all of our other tools in our inventory to beat the next room in the game. So that's a brief taste of how puzzle design works in Herman Electro. This tool was actually used by the developers to create every puzzle in the game, but players can also use it to create their own unique puzzles and share those puzzles with their friends. If that sounds like something you're interested in trying out, I recommend that you check out the game at www.hermanelectro.com. That's HermanElectro.com. Or you can follow us on YouTube by subscribing, or Twitter @Herman Electro, or any other social media that we're on. I hope you enjoyed this video and you're interested in the game. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos where I'll talk about more complicated mechanics like bombs and covered pits and animals and all the other tiles that appear in Herman Electro. Thanks for watching.